Hey guys, super quick video with you today. So the Fed cut. They cut into 2.9% inflation and increasing. They cut into an all-time high stock market. They cut into a bond market whose long end has been lost largely, and the rates are running higher. My prediction, whilst those rates have come down during this recessionary vibe, the long end will revert back to the upside. I don't understand how anyone can cut in this environment. Let's take a short ride. So they're cutting. Everybody who said a recession is going to be claiming big victories. I point out that we've been saying you're in a recession for the last 2 years. And that the non-farm payroll numbers are a big fat lie. We've been highlighting this for all that time. That's the statistics that's now been exposed as fake number day, as we call it, for being the full fake number that we've always called it. Further to which, let's go for a ride near the water. Further to which, they are now focusing on the recession part, hence why all the deflationists will be taking big victory shouts. And my point is, inflation and recession can coexist. The next big lie will be the CPI, and you will see it fully exposed in due course. You will see inflation exposed as the next lie. Even at 2.9%, almost 3%, it's a lie, with a target at 2% that it should be at. Some pretty interesting terrain. I hope you enjoy. For those of you interested, it's a FE 500 Husqvarna. Every man needs a nice bit of throaty, talky 500cc in his life, in nature. So let's carry on. What else? So an all-time high stock market's going to get cut interest rates. Well, I also highlight that it's nominal all-time high. It's not an all-time high in gold ounces, it's actually correcting downwards. Yep. Let's keep it by the coast. So you guys have got to think about this. If I put Kelly Slater to surf here and I went down to Cape Town where there's waves, I'd score higher than him. Why? Because this ain't the environment for surf. He's a much better executor than I would ever hope to be. But denied the environment, he'll fail. Wherever you are living right now, you have to ask, what kind of environment are you being offered to succeed? We are going to be facing the reset of the ages coming your way. A reset of the ages is coming your way. Are you seeing it out in the right places? What's the environment? You can be an average executor and get non-average returns due to a productive and fertile environment for your skills. You don't have to be exceptional. You can still have a life. You can still work, rest, have weekends. The next lie is the CPI. The labor numbers have been proven, and they've now admitted it with all their revisions, which have been coincided to meet this meme of organized downturn. We're also cutting rates in an environment that the dollar is at all-time lows, near all-time lows. I was going to blast it up, but I thought, nah, chicken button hit. We'll go there round the round. So you're in an environment where and remember my twisted balloon analogy. You're in an environment where there's a two-tier economy. Your government is raising debt collateralized against you. You're the asset with the net present value, the taxpayer that's paying, that they can say, well, we've got X amount of citizens paying X amount of tax. So you're the collateral for the ridiculous debt levels they're raising. But the money they're spending isn't going on you. It's going on the corporate fascist status of Palantir, Amazon. And in actual fact, it's going on products to entrap you into the digital surveillance. So you have the twisted balloon economy of the pharmaceutical industry, the military industrial complex, the political boondoggle industries that they so love, which also includes the drug trade and many other things, the illegal recreational drug trade. In terms of getting a new airport, fixing Kennedy or LaGuardia, those shitty old 70s airports of New York, the fulcrum of capitalism. Go see Singapore for an airport. Go see Qatar for an airport, a modern airport. You aren't getting it. And in actual fact, you've got stubbornly high price and living costs and standards at the moment. And that inflation will be exposed in due course. And you're cutting into this environment that involves inflation, which is a terrible idea. So this is a policy error, but it's a policy error whatever he did. It would have been best to do nothing. He's obviously been put under political pressure. There's someone who voted for a double cut, one of Trump's appointees. He doesn't understand the debt markets. So whilst with a recession you'll manufacture a bit of fear and a bit of bid for bonds, the main bid goes to gold. Because the long end is going to call inflation of the bond market. Bond market's not stupid. It knows before anything else knows. So actually, off these rate cuts, it's my prediction that the long end is going to start going higher. It may not do so immediately, but it will. So to be clear, this is recorded the day after the Fed cut. 25 basis point cut. And if we're going to acknowledge the weakness of the economy and not the inflation is the next step. Expect prices at your till to be going up. The tariffs are pushing up prices. They're they're also bankrupting your soybean farmers now that China's not buying, after putting tariffs on the soybean farmers. So most of what Trump is getting is having to give in subsidies now to the soybean farmers. What a success. 55 billion of new borrowing in the last 30 days. The net increase in tariffs is 23 billion, less than 4%, and 16 billion of that is going to give to soybean farmers to keep them in the game. Never mind the other industries that are being killed through counterparty tariffs, while China buys more Brazil soya and soya from other nations. This is the orchestrated decline of America, controlled demolition. So whilst everyone will be on the recession train, if you like to be ahead of the curve, which is always our focus, you should be talking about inflation now. We of course are in stagflation, both are existing. It's not this binary thing where one is on and the other is off. It doesn't work like that. So here's what I'm going to offer. Many of you would like a chat with Francis. I understand, and I'm flattered. I can't talk to everyone, I'm afraid. But here's what I will do. A 45-minute chat, $14.75. Anything you want. Personal chat, confidential chat. I've spoken to women who've moved out to South Africa and are living in Sedgefield. I've spoken to men who are divorced, want to leave the UK, but have young children with a ex-wife, new wives. I've spoken to, you know, every kind of profile. Some with lots of money, some with some money, some with not so much. It doesn't matter. We will give you, for 10 days after that chat, that $14.75 as a credit towards a product. A self-study, a trading metamorphosis program, and we do payments, by the way, if it's hard times for you. We understand and we have empathy. By the way, our prices haven't changed since 2017. They're in dollars, and the dollar has been devaluing like fuck. Another key point about those interest rate cuts. The dollar is dying. It's always fun to get it a bit sexy in the corners, swing that back wheel out. Give it the juice. Every man needs a nice Rorty 500cc off-road bike in his life. Even to be an amateur rider like me. It's worth it and it's fun. I mean, I could just go herring to the edge here by the cliff and go full on Thelma and Louise, baby, it's all over, it's terrible. Don't underestimate your mental health with what's coming and the preparation. The fact that you can understand it and see it, and you know the totalitarian tiptoe is creeping up on you. Work on your physical, work on your mental, cold plunge, working out, nature. Buy yourself something. Be good to yourself. You could suddenly find yourself in some form of a depression if you lost your job. Or you aren't coming out on the money side. Your body is your temple. Work at it. So the predictions are increases in cost of living, increases in job losses, the recession bit's going to get played out. It's much harder. We might have an escalation. Real hardship on cost of living. Powell is basically getting the inverse Goldilocks that Greenspan gave you. Powell is the cleanup squad for Greenspan's largesse. Greenspan had much lower debt levels. Only thing that was the same was stock market at all-time highs. He had strong economy and employment. He had globalization keeping a lid on till prices. There was inflation, but it was asset price inflation, housing and shares. And it was a miracle. There's no inflation. Didn't matter how low he ran the rates and how much liquidity allowed to pump. And everyone got mass affluent. Their houses became ATMs. You released equity every 2 years, bought new cars and wasted money. I've spoken often of the 6 months of daylight at the North Pole, followed by 6 months of night. The sun is setting on the Greenspan miracle economy. And the cleanup squad here for the mess is Jay Powell and whoever follows him. And that means stubbornly high inflation, stubbornly high cost of living, loss rates will climb again on the long end, loss of job and working environment, two-tier economy, lots of air in the one half of the balloon, deflated in the other. You are in the deflated half. Do you need to see this out in your country? Big question. The call offer is there until Tuesday. Bookings must be made by Tuesday, so you must pay and reserve between now and Tuesday. It's Thursday today. I'm not taking weekends. I might extend to Wednesday if we're full. And you have a 10-day credit towards for the full amount to any product that you buy, trading, metamorphosis and or self-study. And then I'm closing this. It's a once-off. I don't do this. But I feel the mental stress people are under, even successful people. We're seeing the trajectory of things. Don't underestimate it. Work on your mental health. And watch all the recessionists take high fives when we were in that space 2 years before them. And watch how they're not warning of inflation, which will be the next stage that comes. And the loss of that long end and the steepening of that bond curve. And the only winner in this, as the inflation resurges, will be gold, silver, miners, and the other nations that will receive the liquidity that runs away from America. And we can discuss in any call how I portfolio globally for surviving the Western downfall. Till next time, I catch you later, guys. Bye.
Tired of profit wipeouts and blown accounts from following trade signal groups and other YouTube channels? Looking for a better way to trade, reduce your stress, and minimize your risk? Become a skilled technical analyst and see the charts and markets in a new light using the successfully proven HVF method by Francis Hunt, while being surrounded and supported by a principled, structured, and experienced community. Enjoy a constructive learning environment while practically trading markets, supported by a bespoke platform run through browser and app, specifically designed to teach and engage you whilst learning and growing as the markets move. This is not a Telegram or Slack signal group. All trade ideas are based on a proprietary technical analysis process honed over decades, which is the HVF method, leading to trade ideas with fast-moving breakouts and tight stops, exact entries and exits, nuanced interim considerations, and ultimately, strong rewards. Submissions are graded and scored by Francis for potential high-quality setups, and we provide bespoke tools to help get the job done properly and with precision. Over time and with focused effort, you'll begin to look at charts and price action just like Francis. Community updates every day by Francis and our 3 webinars a week provide a 360-degree approach, which are presented by our experienced team of trade leaders to spot potential trades. We're a community of self-actualized individuals, spanning the globe and active 24/7, 365. The premium community provides a warm, supportive, and cooperative place for people willing to listen, participate, contribute, and to learn. We've changed thousands of traders' lives. Transform your approach to trading now. Transform your life. Book an introductory call with us on the link below.